Hey folks, let's play Yakuza Like a Dragon on the series JG. And as I said at the end of the last video, I kind of was looking to get to a place where I could off-screen while just like catching up on viewing of other things. And I might have gotten a little bit excessive. So one of the things I kind of realized is in Part-Time Hero, there is a challenge where you get, excuse me, killing 100, 200, 300 enemies as a hero. Basically, I'd gotten this because I've been fighting as a hero for most of the game, but in fact, you get points for the enemies defeated while um, Ichiban Kasuga is in various classes, and it's a little confusing because if you read the descriptions, you might be like, "Oh, if I've got Psycho as a hostess and she defeats 100 enemies, I'll gain some points, and if Adachi is a detective, I'll gain points." No, the only job that matters is Ichiban's job, and kills made by your party members count. So in order to get these particular part-time hero bonuses, you have to keep switching Ichiban's job. So something I did off screen, you're gonna be particularly sorry you missed the host because he was going around being a hosto. But yeah, I just switched and I did a lot of off screen, just fighting small groups of weak enemies a lot of the time. And actually, though, what I did a lot of to try to get class point or job points, job skill points, particularly for the ladies, I was paying close attention, trying to like get their skills. Uh, there's an enemy that we fought in that underground dungeon zone who like every attack did 1 hit point of damage per hit, no matter what. And those guys would occasionally run away. But if you could beat them, because they only had like 20 something hit points maybe, but if you beat them, you got a ton of job experience points and regular experience points. So I was going back and forth, like I found a place where you have to fight uh, one battle to get to them, and then like, because it's basically they were the second to last battle of a level. Um, but then come back down to that level, like after clearing that level, come back to that level, and going backwards, you fight the final fight of that level, and then that fight with that, they're called infested vagabonds. Um, yeah, just like repeating those battles, and I went a little nuts. So what you see, the combat hasn't really been that big of a problem for us, and I don't think it's going to be for a while. And this is something that happens to me what I really like in RPG. I just get into like doing all of the optional stuff and then getting all the skills, and like I did the same thing with Trials of Man. I was like grinding for skill points to see the different skills, and as a result, the party members' base stats got too high, so that very little of the combat was challenging. And I've kind of done the same thing again here, unfortunately. So now, if you look at our party, we've got a whole different set of jobs. Psycho is back in her regular job, but everyone else is doing something different. We have Aerie as the dominatrix, which is called the Night Queen class. I don't understand the like masquerade mask part of it, which almost look like glasses, because it's not even a band around the back of the head. It's like glasses, but they look like a masquerade mask. I don't know. But we got Adachi as John Cena, and or Vanilla Ice, or however you want to say it. And Ichiban is currently a folk musician. But the point is, like, I've gotten more job skill stuff for them. So like Ichiban, I put him back in his freelancer's default class. He has no weapons, but it gave him a little bit of agility boost along the way, a little bit of attack boost, mostly agility boost. But also, I wanted to get him to release German suplex, so he now has that as a move he can do in any class. He says something called Hyper Swagger, which is kind of worthless because it just, you waste a turn giving yourself a boost that lasts 2 turns. But release German suplex is a pretty high damage throw, and only enemies that have extremely high physical resistance can shrug it off. With Hero, I had already gotten, like, I was looking for other things to do than Hero, because with Hero, I've already gotten both of their character skills. I made him a bodyguard just long enough to get 300 kills total of enemies while he was a bodyguard. I wasn't going for all of his skills, because his bodyguard skills, Diehard Skewer, which is an attack that damages the user and the target, eh. And he was a hosto because that gives him access to an ice damage spell. And it's just nice to be able to pull that out if you have enemies that are weak against ice. His second character skill is a healing skill that will also could make him drunk, and he's got other healing skills. I believe he's got a healing skill just from... No, those are fats. That's actually a little different, but a lot of his classes, like the hero class, already has something where he restores hit points to everyone. Now, he was a breaker, but again, only long enough to get... actually, did I get him as a breaker? Did he even get... He might be he might become a breaker again later. I know that's right. He hasn't been a breaker at all. He just... I think I put him in that class mistakenly thinking that was the one that is actually foreman, so I took him out of it immediately. So he doesn't have anything as breaker. We'll see him pop a lock and John Cena styles later. He has same deal with Devil Rocker. He has the level 1 skills for Devil Rocker, but he can't be a Devil Rocker. I'm confused about that. He was a foreman for a long time, basically just long enough. While he was a foreman and he got 100 kills. And now he's a musician, or 300 kills for the party while he was a foreman to get all those points. Now he's a musician, and I'd like to keep him in this until he gets up to level 16, because then he gets character skill Be My Shelter, which is an attack that absorbs MP from enemies. Might not be that useful, but I like the idea that everyone can absorb MP from enemies. The females do not have access to that skill at all, which is unfortunate. He hasn't been a chef yet. He hasn't been an enforcer, but basically the thing is, yeah, he spent a lot of time off screen as is a freelancer in the bodyguard job, which is a really cool looking job, which is kind of boring. I mean, it allows you to use a sword so you can kind of inflict bleeding on enemies with some of these attacks, but otherwise it's not that exciting. And Hosto, which is the Rose Stinger spell. I'll have to show that off with somebody. That's pretty cool. Basically, he's Tuxedo Mask. He throws a rose and it hits the enemy and can set them on fire, but definitely does damage. Adachi is now in John Cena mode, but he's picked up... He's gotten a lot of enforcer power. And I had him as a Devil Rocker for a while. Long enough at least to get vampirism. So, like, you've missed some goofiness, but there was no... It was just me fighting regular enemies as all these different classes. But the main thing is... Psycho, I've got her back in her default class for lack of something else to do. With Hostess... I wanted to get her to Ice Spreader, and I did, because that means she now has a spell that she can cast, no matter what her class is, to do some damage. But as Matriarch, I got her to the point where she's picked up everything, and everything that's left is just every 5 levels, and it takes a really long time to get a level at this point. She just gets stats boost. So she's learned all the skills from Matriarch, and she could come back to it eventually to get stat boost. Same thing basically with Idol. She's got a couple of skills left that she doesn't bring with her from one class to other classes, but she got the main Idol stuff. She might have to go back to being a Night Queen eventually, but she'd learn all the Night Queen stuff she could take to another class. And then I haven't done anything with Dealer. And then the same deal with Aerie, kind of. She's learned... She's a Night Queen now, because that's the thing that she had the least experience with, other than Dealer, which is apparently just kind of crap. The website I've been looking at for information on which classes are better than others is... I like it because it's written in, like, grammatically correct English, but it does kind of seem like the guy, assuming it's a guy who writes this, is a little bit obsessive with, like, comparing the classes and seeing what's the best, and, like, this is the same person I read their guide on classes for Trials of Mana, and, like, when I got to the end of the game on normal difficulty and we could, like, crush the final boss in 2 seconds, it was like, I'm not sure that some of these distinctions made a big difference. But they do tend to focus on, like, you know, once you're in the post-story optional extreme difficulty dungeon, this class will outperform this class, and it's like, might not matter that much for most of the game. But yeah, both Aerie and Psycho have gone through and gotten the Matriarch stuff, because that's just a really powerful class combat-wise. And they both got all the Idol stuff. So either one, and she's got all her clerk stuff too, so... They've hit the point, because they have fewer jobs to learn, like, they're at the point now where pretty soon I'm just going to have to settle on a class that I'm just going to be maxing. I'm just going to be using it to get passive boosts because they've got all the skills that they're going to, really be using. Anyway, we're back now, and that was a lot of dungeon crawling. I did a lot of part-time hero questing as far as just doing the hunts for different enemy types. I basically kept doing that until they stopped popping. I think there's more that you can get. I'm not sure what I would have to do to get more. But one thing I want to do is get SOS Hakuroyo building. And then the next thing I want to do after I've done that is I want to advance the story, because now I'm like, based on the hero quest things that we can do, at some point we're going to need to go we've got Savior Yokohama, Savior Kamurocho has 0. There must be 2 other zones that we visit during the story. And they've already mentioned visiting that little girl's brother in the hospital. Like, I want to get to the point where we're in the next zone. So, not necessarily grinding against, like, invested vagabonds if I can find them and really blowing my levels to the roof, but just like, so the next time I want to off-screen and just catch up on other people's videos or whatever, I can just fight regular enemies for, minor gains, but as you can see, 100, 300, 500, like, it's been I got Savior of Yokohama a long time ago, but there's other points to be gained. And intelligence, is that one of the areas that I'm lacking? Not me personally, but Casca. I know that I'm personally lacking intelligence. It's sad. Actually, intellect is mediocre. Passion, we're almost through the roof. Our problem is confidence. Our confidence is only middle of the road, which is preventing us from getting certain jobs. But anyway, like I said, we are going to... I want to actually advance the story. And I'll have saves in reserve, but I want to advance the story just so, if nothing else, I can see if we can either get to a new zone where new stuff is happening, or maybe get Namba back in the party, because the sad part of this, if you're a Namba fan, this is probably good news. Once I get Namba back in the party, because I'm almost positive he's coming back, I don't think this game... Like, everybody, in retrospect, they were shocked by it. They thought it was a great plot twist, but nobody was very happy when Final Fantasy VII, like, you can level up Eris, and then suddenly she's removed from you at the end of Disc 1. Spoilers for a very, very old game. But I'm pretty sure we're getting Namba back, and once we do, he's never leaving the party again. I won't be able to afford to have him leave the party. Because he'll get... I guess he can get job experience, even if he's out of the party, but, like... I don't know, it'll be like... He'll be behind everyone else in level unless he gets a boost. Unless they figure out something where he gets a boost. No, I kind of picked the wrong taxi spot, but okay. Unless he gets experience to be approximately caught up with the party, if he just comes back at the experience he had when he was gone, he's going to be way behind. Because I was actually pretty strategic in grinding for at least some of that time against enemies that gave massive boosts to job experience. So I feel bad for Namba. He'll be weaker than everyone else. He already was a physically weak party member as far as defense and hit points goes, but he'll be weak. He'll be behind everyone else, but it'll mean that if you like seeing Namba in the game and in our party, he will be in the party probably forever. I'll never be able to kick him out. I had been pondering who our endgame party would be, because there's 2 more party members, both male, that we will get before the story is over. At one point I figured, well, I mean, I might use the added party members later a little bit, but then when it's for story stuff, bring back the core party. I might have to just play as Nanba, Ichiban, who always has to be in the party, and the 2 new male characters for a big chunk of the game, and have both... Eri, who cares, really? She doesn't have a ton of personality, and what personality she does have... I mean, she seems like a nice enough fictional character, but she's She's entirely in that business side story. She has no connection to the main story. But I'll feel bad if Adachi is just like, and Psycho are ditched forever. Because they're just too far ahead of these other characters in level, and I'm trying to level everyone up. See the break dancing, like his whole bending over, doing that thing with his hat. I guess I don't know if he's dabbing or what, but he comes off as a complete goof.
Look at me go!
Look at me go. You can't see me. Adachi, the Air Force DMV white rapper. Yeah, he's not even Asian anymore. He's a white rapper. Would you like to see some paintings? They say these amazing works of art bring a fortune to anyone who possesses them. Oh, they do, huh? Tell me, could I get lucky with you? Or maybe we could even get married. Then I'd spend all kinds of money on you. What? That guy's getting a little ahead of himself. But it's so sudden. Please let me think this through. She's selling paintings and a guy just proposes marriage. Oh, whatever. Let's rescue this guy being beaten up by one of the game's rare black people. There are a couple of enemies floating around who are of African descent, and businessman and a pest control guy. So you want to attack me? There's a part-time hero on the way, and I bet he won't be too happy about this. That must be my client. Time to play part-time hero. Some maniacs are running amok, and now they set their sights on me. Man in a pickle. There doesn't seem to be any...
Time to clean up!
Any reason for the... Oh yeah? Well, if part-time hero plans on getting it our way, we'll smash you all like stink bugs. Yeah, there's no story. Why are these guys attacking this guy? Who are they? Because they were weirdos. I mean, the black guy is only now wearing tactical gear, I guess. And the pandemicist, whatever, but... Pest control guy was some weirdo in full pest control gear walking down the street and accosting people from jump. Unfortunately, Psycho not quite as devastating as she was as in her former as a dominatrix wearing a funeral outfit or as a matriarch, but and Ichiban's damage is way low as a musician because that is a magic class, despite the fact that he's hitting people with a guitar. But Adachi, as ridiculous as he looks, Adachi is still pretty good on offense. I don't know why you're doing this slide attack. You have a guitar. Hit the guy with a guitar. Reversal shot. Wow, he just blasted us all the way into the building. Ow.
I'm not backing down.
Now I think it's just and right that Big Dog, our wow, he was not very good on targeting there.
You sure you can beat me?
Up until that last turn, every one of his attacks was launched directly at the Japanese guy dressed as a white guy who thinks he can rap. He's just he doesn't know what ethnic group to be angry at, but somehow a guy who belongs to one ethnic group is parading around like a member of another ethnic group, both stealing his culture. So he's pretty upset. Man, you really came through for me. You're getting a 5-star review for sure, plus a nice comment. And I'm posting this one up on Chatter. Gotta show you heroes love, right? We better.
With finesse.
Show us love, or there will be trouble. Designer earrings. Sounds like it might be one of those valuable items that you equip to increase your job experience gains, but it is not. Sadly, I don't have the one for if you want to play the John Cena class. I don't have the item that gives you extra job experience, but I do have at least one. If you can get 2 of the same item, which only a few job classes even give you the opportunity, you can do pretty well. But like, yeah, Mysterious Blush, boost amount of experience, 1.5. If you have 2 of the same experience booster, you get double experience. But again, only a few jobs even have that. Some of the jobs you can buy that item in stores, others you can only get it through side quests, and there's only one of them in the game. So now, we've got, for part-time hero, we have nothing that we can be doing on rescue missions. For support, bug delivery. I wouldn't say bug. I gotta find Sega Tayaki. There's bouquet deliveries. Oh, I need a bouquet of roses. I think I can actually buy one of those, and I'm in the right section of town. Now I've got to do separated foreigner. I am Mike. My travel buddy Dave and I got separated. Please find him and let me know. When Dave gets tired, he goes to a bench. Okay, I have to look for someone on a bench. This sounds like a job for a FAC at some point. We got to go find this guy's cats. Unfortunately for me, there was a few times where I came across a cat, but since I was off screening, I figured, no, I won't find it now. I'll wait and do it on screen. And now I'm like, oh, I probably should have noted where those cats were. And then the Kappa statues. So Kappa statues, find my cat, both things I'll probably do at some point with a FAC open in front. But I think I could get a bouquet of roses, because I think one of the stores up here just flat out sells them. Yeah. Oh, and we're real close to a taxi, because this is the taxi I should have gone to before. You thought you were going to hit me. I was too clever for you. But we'll knock out that one more little part-time hero thing before we get going with the main story. I guess I spent too much screen time talking about off-screening because this video is mostly over and we really just did one part-time hero side quest. But I mean, you got to see a little bit of Adachi's new John Cena cosplay, which I plan to go to the next area with their current jobs intact. So hopefully, in case we need it, there'll be a way to switch jobs, and if we are to travel to some other city for a while, hey, look, a rainbow stag beetle. Oh my, that's rare for the winter. Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by the rainbow stag beetle. We'll ignore those hostiles. Something else I could do is buy, well, they are expensive, but one thing that occurred to me was, we have a couple of different lady friends that we could be getting closer with, and they all are into being given like fuck tons of bouquets. So I had been having Solid Snake make them, but they're probably cheaper to have Solid Snake make them for us, but it takes some time and effort to gather up the ingredients. Yo, I found a beehive. Jeez, what if there are bees in there? Get rid of that now. Yo, found a beehive, yo. I guess we'll come fight you guys for no real reason. Man, I pull out my guitar and those guys started dancing.
You're in it now. You want to go?
Right.
Yeah, having everybody on the wrong side of this bush is going to make follow-up attacks difficult. And I knew it was going to happen. At the very end, she'd found the path thing, but there's a time limit, and at the very end, she was just like, screw it, and teleported. See, I should get extra bonus damage because I came in from behind with my M. Bison flipping knee press nightmare combo. See, John Cena doesn't do the knee press nightmare. M. Bison does, so there's a weird mix of John Cena and M. Bison. Both of them are, of course, human personifications of evil and oppression, but
Here we go.
they don't really have that much else in common. Oh no, you kicked him! You kicked him to where Namba couldn't follow up. Yeah, Breaker does seem to be a pretty good class, even though I hate it. It looks so stupid. But it's actually pretty powerful on offense. Job rank up.
I feel the stats going up.
Feel the stats move under my Skinner's dexterity is up. I was confused about this at first, although it's fairly straightforward if you think about it. All those stats that are going up in red, your stats change depending on which job you're in. So that's like when she's in this job, hit points, MP, etc. are all rising. But if you see something at the bottom that said as a result of rank up, dexterity increased by 10 or whatever, that's base core stats that travel with you no matter what job you're in. So, for example, we were saying with Psycho, she's picked up all the attacks and stuff for the matriarch class. But if she stuck with it, it would be real slow going, grinding up new levels, because the higher your rank is, the more expensive each new rank gets. But she would get dexterity plus 10, HP plus 20, magic plus 10. These would be like core stat boosts she would be getting as she leveled up. And if I were to then switch it, like, oh, I need a healer, and switch her over to idle, she would retain the stat boost she got from matriarch. But not the ones that are in red. That just every time you level up, or every time you rank up, all of your stats seem to increase, but only those marked stat increases that are connected to... Why am I still explaining this? It's perfectly simple. Okay. So, I guess we should just go report our... I guess this could be the romance video. We had Yakuza Like a Dragon, then we have Yakuza Like a Dragon R, followed by Yakuza Like a Dragon S, and then Super S. And finally Yakuza Stars. Or would it be Dragon Stars? Because Yakuza is already a series. Like a Dragon is the new. But anyway, yeah, I've got tons of bouquets. I could go visit all of the ladies I'm aware of that we can impress. Two of them are kind of located pretty close to each other. We can give a bunch of bonsai to a lady who builds our Woppets. I'm under the impression from something I think I saw while just kind of browsing around killing time in a waiting room that we can romance Psycho and Aerie, but I'm not sure how. You can get the friendship level up with them, but that's the same as the male friendships. It's not, you're not giving them romantic gifts like flowers and shit. Bonsai doesn't feel like a romantic gift, but I mean, if it's what she's into, then sure. Hey, Katsuka-san, what brings you in today? Chat with Sumir. Sumir-chan, can we talk for a sec? Yeah, of course. You're still into that bonsai. You're still into the bonsai thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Yoko's. Of course, I could fill a room with them. Maybe I should give her more bonsai. Imagine how she'd be if I gave her 5 at once. Give Sumir 5 bonsai. These are for you, Sumir-chan. You gave her 5 bonsai plants. Wow, so many. Are you sure? Oh, I love these. Bonsai are the best. You're always helping me out, so it's the least I can do. I'll drop in again soon. I feel a little closer to Sumir-chan. I'm glad she liked your gifts. Hey, what brings you in today? We can continue to chat with her. I feel like we'd really hit it off. I showed her just how volcanic my passion can be. Passion level 10. Okay, so now it's not about giving her more. So I probably want more bonsai than I needed. It's no longer about giving her bonsai. Now I got to hit passion level 10. And I got to become passionate Midori, passionate Arrow. I probably don't want to be passionate either of them because they're girls. And I appear to be trying to pursue heterosexual relations with this woman. Passionate Midori and Passionate Arrow are from Evil Zone. Check it out on Bobo's channel.
Can I help?
Seriously, if I was going to tell you to check out one Boba the Vulture Let's Play, it would probably be Evil Zone because it's fairly short, but it's got some good stuff. Give her a pansy bouquet. Here, why don't you take these? You gave a bouquet of pansies.
Thank you very much.
Oh, for me? That's very thoughtful of you. Just wanted to thank you for everything you've done for me. Hope you don't mind me coming round. I feel a little closer to Ricardo-chan. I'm glad she liked it.
Do you need something?
What can I do for you? What can I do for you? And now I know. We got a conversation going if I was a hot shot. Okay, never mind. She just wanted one. Like, I really wasted money buying a lot of pansies. Because she just one pansy bouquet and suddenly the personality requirement comes in. Probably running over. Yeah, it's just about time to call it a video. But what I want to do... What I want to do is just hand out all these bouquets. And then we'll start a new video where we're ready to... PIA? Saki Arcade? Citron Mahjong. See, there was a building around here. It's a hostess bar. There was the building around here that was like the... where you go and take exams. And now I can't remember... Miracle Kimchi Merchant. B. Oh, it's a place where you can enjoy a game of darts. Yeah, the vocational school. We don't seem to have any taxis that are real close to there, but Chinatown one is close-ish. Let's just carefully step over the fence. Let's hand out all of our bouquets so that we'll come back next time and just be done with all the mushy stuff and be ready for action. Some, I'm about to say, hostess, white rapper, musician action. I would say dominatrix action, but that actually does sound like it's supposed to be about the hot, sexy times as opposed to, you know, goofiness. Goofy martial arts stuff, I suppose. My wife, back at home in China, loves jewels, but she'd even collecting gemstones as of late. She's been asking for a ruby. I wanted to get her one while I'm here, but I don't even know where to look. Hand over the gemstone. Tell him to dig around here. Maybe you'll find one if you dig around here? Yeah, well, if it were that easy, we'd all be rich. Yeah, this is like this guy, oh, come work for my company, even though I don't need any more people, and it will apparently cost me a ruby to make you consider it. And I'm already regretting that I went in for this whole thing before calling it a video. See, I've got all these special skills I should be showing off of these. The point of all these different classes is they've got all these cool special skills, but I'm pretty much just making everybody use their regular attacks.
Let's go.
You can't stop me.
You sure you don't need me?
He was trying to steal from Adachi, but
You're in it now.
Passionate Errol there, or
I got this.
yeah, she was kind of in the way.
Get caught.
Passionate Airy. Yeah, I was like, her name is Airy, isn't it? I was like, no, that's so close to Errol. It can't be, her name can't really be Airy, because if it was, I would have already been making Passionate Errol jokes. But no, it really is Airy. Oh man, she super kicked him right into the street sign there. Or not the street sign, the street light.
I did it.
We got a premium sushi set out of that, and attack +5. But they weren't kidding, like, I noticed while off screening, Airy really does have better offense than Psycho does, thanks to that clerk job. Here's the vocational school. This guy's over here.
Hi there.
Ah, Katsuka-chan, can I help you with something? I'm not sure I'm gonna pass. Nothing. That's nothing. Playing it cool. I'll let you in our secret have me passing exams left and right as per Miyaki Yoshi-san's request. So what is it? The culmination of my hard work experience and refined sensibilities, hyper-focus, and the divine pencil. With these in handy, but a complete symbol that can double their chances of passing the exam. Double? You serious? Not for free, mind you, but give it some thought if you're interested. Ask about the hyper-focus. Unleashing the hyper-focus will slow down time to the point it makes you feel like an eternity in your hands. Where the effect doesn't last long, you'll only be able to use it once per exam. Oh. Mastering these guys cost you 100,000 yen. Still interested? Sure, if it's just like a one-time payment. Very well, are you ready? First, open your eyes real wide. You learned hyperfocus. For exam, press triangle to activate hyperfocus and extend your exam time by 30 seconds. Your quick learner cost. Good. I will say this again. Just drill it. Hyperfocus can only be used once per exam. But if you master this technique, you'll be swimming certificates in no time. Great. What about the Divine Pencil? This pencil is the ultimate weapon against these exams. There are numbers around the sides. Roll it on the desk and it'll reveal which answers are wrong. Isn't that just luck? Luck nothing. This pencil reveals 2 of 3 wrong answers with 100% accuracy.
For real?
100%? No way. Oh, it gives you 50-50 on each, but you probably only use it once per exam. Couldn't tell you why. Yep. It's part of its design nature. 500,000 yen. What the hell? Press. So once per exam, you can press X to get 50-50, and then you can press triangle to extend your time. No substitute for trying your best. It can only be used once per exam. Use it wisely. Earn your way to Certificate City. Ask about something else. Ask about Mia Koshi. Not exactly when I say she's what made this place my #1 pick. Is there anything else you want to know? All good. Alright, so this... Now, it's getting excessive. So I'm going to call it a video, and when we come back next time, we will have a couple more bouquets to deliver before we continue the main story. Catch you guys then.